Before we dive into today's episode, I want to remind you that the information shared in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical condition. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your health regimen. And here's a disclaimer. The content shared in the Happy Hormones Coach podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please consult with a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, exercise, or health routine. The opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guest and do not necessarily reflect the views of any healthcare organizations. Enjoy the episode. Hey, welcome to the Happy Hormones Coach, the podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Gamayo Self, where I dive into everything related to women's health and lifestyle and, you know me, holistically. So join me, your host, as we explore the intricacies of female hormones, discuss tips and strategies for managing stress and anxiety, and discover ways to live a healthier and happier, more fulfilling life. From nutrition to fitness, mindfulness to relationships, I cover it all. So please grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's dive into the world of women's health together. This is the Happy Hormones Coach. Estrogen dominance? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Happy Hormones Coach podcast, where we explore holistic health, functional fitness tailored for midlife professional, perimenopausal women just like you and every other woman in between. I'm your host, Jennifer Gamayo Self, and I'm so glad that you're joining me today. Today, we're talking about a topic that affects many women, especially during perimenopause, which is estrogen dominance. It also affects men too, but it really does target women, or affect women, I should say. So we'll break it down in simple terms, understand what it is, why it happens, and most importantly, what you can do to manage it naturally. I'll also share a bit about my personal experience with estrogen dominance and how I've been managing it. So let's start with the basics. Estrogen dominance occurs when there's too much estrogen in your body compared to other hormones, and particularly progesterone. So even if your overall estrogen levels are low, you can still have estrogen dominance if your progesterone levels are even lower. Very interesting. So common symptoms include weight gain, and as you know it, especially around the hips and the thighs, mood swings, fatigue, and heavy or irregular periods. Now in men, it does cause those what they call man boobs, so that's a good indicator as well. And I recently went through a challenging period where my detox pathways were clogged and my estrogen levels were actually quite low. Yet I was showing signs of estrogen dominance in my symptoms. And that's why I tested myself in the first place. So this can happen when your body can't effectively eliminate that excess estrogen, what a tongue twister, causing it to build up and just kind of move around in your body, not being released or not being let out. And it was a bit of a surprise to me because my initial thought was that, wow, low estrogen meant I couldn't have estrogen dominance. But I definitely learned the hard way that it's all about balance. And there are several reasons why estrogen dominance can occur. So the number one reason really is poor detoxification. Now, your liver is responsible for processing and eliminating excess estrogen. If your liver isn't functioning well, estrogen can build up in your body. And this was a big part of my issue. My detox pathways, they were clogged. It just wasn't metabolizing like it should, and it wasn't freely moving. It wasn't eliminating from my body like it should. And so the other one is diet. Now, a diet high in processed food, sugar, and healthy fats can contribute to hormonal imbalances among other health-related issues. So eating conventionally raised meat and dairy products can also introduce extra hormones into your system. And we do not want that. Ladies, we do not need additional hormones in our body than what we're already dealing with, especially during this transition or this phase that we're in. And another one is stress. So chronic stress increases cortisol, which can interfere with progesterone production and, of course, lead to estrogen dominance. And of course, environmental toxins. Now, I always say that focus on what things you can control and not what you can't control. So there are environmental toxins. There are things that we just can't control, but there are things we can. So, we're exposed to estrogen-like chemicals known as xenoestrogens in plastics, personal care products, and household cleaners. They can mimic estrogen in the body and contribute to that dominance. So those are just a couple of the things that you can control that are in your home environment. Now let's get into practical steps that you can take to manage this estrogen dominance naturally. We definitely, number one, want to support our liver. So as you know, your liver plays a crucial role in hormone balance. Support it by eating plenty of cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. These veggies contain compounds that help the liver detoxify excess estrogen. Also, drinking plenty of fluids and water, and considering incorporating dandelion root tea or milk thistle supplements, which are known to support liver health. So that's actually really good. Always check just to make sure that there's no medication side effects or anything like that. And also number two, which should be along with number one, they're kind of the same, and they're very important in their own way, but a healthy gut. And a healthy gut is essential for hormone balance. So make sure you're eating plenty of fiber, which helps eliminate excess estrogen. And food rich in fiber includes fruits, veggies, whole grains, legumes. Probiotics can also support gut health. So consider adding fermented foods like yogurt, sauerkraut, and kimchi to your diet. A little caveat to that is just if you have any abdominal pain or SIBO, anything like that, then definitely see what you're tolerant of and what your diet should include. But those are just a couple things in general that are helpful. And of course, reducing stress. So chronic stress can wreak havoc on your hormones, as we've talked about. And incorporating stress reduction activities into your daily routine, such as deep belly breaths, meditation, Pilates, stretching, even just a simple walk in nature, getting out, finding sun or the moonlight. Find what works for you and just make it a priority. And avoid those xenoestrogens or the plastics or anything that mimic estrogen. So reduce your exposure to those toxins by using natural personal care products and cleaning supplies. And like I said, avoid plastic containers for food storage and opt for glass or stainless steel instead. I personally use glass and I love it. It works just fine. Also, be mindful of pesticides in your food and try to buy organic when possible, and always wash and rinse your fruits and veggies. And so another one is balance your diet. Of course, you'll always hear me talk about a whole foods diet and those healthy fats, proteins, plenty of fruits and veggies, and avoid processed foods, sugar, and excessive caffeine and alcohol. Staying hydrated. And exercise regularly. So regular physical activity, even just walking, can help balance your hormones and your mind and support overall health. So aim for a mix of, just some cardio. Work with the energy of your body. Don't go against it. Do what you're used to, and you can add more, to it as you go. But if you're just used to walking and nothing else, do some light weights. Don't go to like a HIIT class or anything like that right away. Just slowly grow to that. Flexibility exercises are really good because that goes along with stretching. And again, daily walks are perfect. So in my own journey, I focused on supporting my liver and improving my gut health. And I'm still on this journey. And I'm just, there's a lot to it. But I added more of the veggies into my diet and drank some of that detox tea that I talked about. And I also made a conscious effort to reduce stress and, spending more time outdoors, getting some more sunlight, and just like my morning routine. And steps have helped open my detox pathways and allow my body to start eliminating that excess estrogen more effectively. And I have noticed a difference, and I love it. It's just amazing what small things you can add to and not take away necessarily. That is going to make all the difference in the world. And so if you're looking for a structured approach to managing estrogen dominance and maybe rebalancing your hormones, I'm excited to introduce my upcoming program, the Renew and Rebalance 4-Week Reset. Now, this program is designed to help you restore balance through nutrition, stress management, and lifestyle changes, and it includes the HTMA or hair tissue mineral analysis to provide a detailed look at your mineral levels, which are the spark plugs of life, and create a personalized plan just for you from that. So thank you so much for joining me today on the Happy Hormones Coach podcast. I hope you found this episode and the other episodes helpful, but especially this one on understanding and managing estrogen dominance, helpful and informative. Although very brief, I hope it was very informative. So remember, small changes can make a big difference in your hormonal health. And if you're interested in learning more about the Renew and Rebalance 4-Week Reset and how it can help you, stay tuned for more details coming soon. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And I am on YouTube as well. So until next time, take care of yourself and keep those hormones happy. Thanks for tuning in to the Happy Hormones Coach today. I hope our discussion was informative and helpful for your health and well-being. If you have any questions or comments about today's episode or have suggestions for future topics, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on social media or visit my website. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a review and sharing it with your friends and family. Remember, taking care of yourself is essential, and I'm here to support you on your journey toward optimal health and happiness. So until next time, stay happy and stay healthy. This is the Happy Hormones Coach.